Hey, what's up? My name is Jonathan Harrigan, and this is Never Stop Growing. In today's video, I'm going to show you 3 ways to make basic handles at home using no special equipment. So let's jump into it. Okay, so the first method we're going to do is called a pulled handle, and this is probably the most common form of handle that is used by professional potters or potters in general, I would say. And there's good reason for it, but the first thing you're going to need is obviously your clay, and then you're going to need a bowl of water. Okay, and to pull a handle, what we're going to do is we're going to take about a handful size of clay, so something like this, and I'm going to slap it into a carrot shape. So, or you can roll it. You just kind of want it to have that point, and you want it to be smooth. Okay, so you want it to have a thicker side, and then you want it to have a thinner side to make this a little bit easier. Okay. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to put it over a bucket of water like this, and you're going to hold from the top like so. Okay, and you're going to begin to stretch this out using the water to keep the clay from drying out or falling apart. Okay, so we're going to grab, get our hand wet, and we're going to begin to pull. Okay, and what you're trying to do is you're trying to stretch the handle out, and this is helpful for several reasons. One, it elongates and stretches the clay into the direction that you want it to go in, and the other thing that it does is it keeps the clay from cracking, which is what happens with some of the other techniques. The other thing you want to do when you're using this method is you want to make sure that you're changing sides on the clay when you're pulling it, right? Either you're rotating this around or you're changing side, because your hand has a shape to it, and when you're pulling this out, you're training it to that shape. Also, a lot of people, when they're pulling this out, they will stop short. And what it does is it creates a ball at the bottom, and then that ball will want to fall off. See if I can show you. All right, so if we stop short, it creates this ball of clay down here at the bottom, and then that ball wants to just fall off later. So we want to change directions, and we want to keep pulling it out so that it's going from thick to thin, okay, which is the ideal form of a handle for most people, right? It fits your hand a little bit better. Okay, so once it's nice and round and even, what you're going to do, and it's about the size that you want, you're going to take your finger and you're going to put it in between these 2 fingers right here, and you're going to flatten it. And then again, from another direction, change sides, and you're going to flatten it. And this handle's become like really long, so we're going to actually clip part of this off. But you should be left with a nice flat handle that goes from thick to thin. All right, so it should taper from thick to thin, and it should be smooth on both sides and even. All right. Some people will take this and they'll roll it out and they'll put it right on the cup itself. I didn't really learn that, so I don't often do that. I make my handles first and then I attach them later. When you're ready, if you need to pull another handle, you can cut this off. Here, we'll show you from this side. You can cut this off, and you can either, okay, so when you're ready for the handle, you can cut it off right here, right? So using your knife or a tool, just cut it off right up here at the top. Right, so you have enough clay to work with, and then wrap it around on itself like this so that it holds, so that it trains to the shape that you want. Okay, just like that. Okay, and then with this, you're just going to smack it back into a cone or begin to stretch again over the water, and you just do another one. Okay, so you just begin again. Okay, and then you let it set up until it's firm, not sticky anymore. It shouldn't be sticky to the touch. It should be firm. Still leather hard, like still soft, just not sticky anymore. because you still want to be able to move it and bend it and put it on the pot. Okay, so the other way of doing this is to take your handle and drape it over the table like this and press it in so that it trains into that shape, the shape that you want the handle to be. Okay, so the next method of making a handle is to we're gonna make a rolled handle. Pinch this out to about the width that you want. So we're gonna pinch it out to about the shape that we want, the length that we want. We're gonna try and make sure that this is soft, because if it's not soft, it's gonna crack on us as we roll. So the softer the clay that you have, typically the better for this. And then we're gonna roll it. And I want it to be even, okay? And rolling an even coil kind of just takes a little bit of practice. Okay, but you'll see like my hands migrate down. And what I'm looking for is that same, for me at least, I'm looking for that same concept of thick to thin. So I'm gonna cut this off actually right here. And then just continue to work this side of the handle. All right, so evenly working this to stretch it out. Okay, and again, I'm gonna end up cutting off more right there. Okay, so you always wanna give yourself like a little bit more. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap it. Because again, I wanna train that shape, because if I don't, when I come back later, this is all gonna crack on me. Okay, so I will train the shape that I want it to be in. Okay, and when it dries a little bit, I can always chop it and make it look how I want. So that's pretty much it. That's your basic rolled handle. They're pretty easy and not overly complicated, I just don't think they're as durable as a pulled handle. So if you can practice pulling a handle, that'll be better in the long run. But they are a little bit more time intensive. So that leads us to the third method of making handles. And this one's a little unique, but also kind of fun. It adds for like a unique kind of look to a handle. So what you need is a surface that your handle is not going to stick to. I'm going to use the wooden table, but normally what I would say is lay down canvas cloth. If you don't have canvas cloth, you can, again, just use a table if you want. You just have to be careful that the clay doesn't stick to the table so that when you go to pull this back up, it's not stuck. So what you're going to do is you're going to need a sponge. You're going to need a sponge and some water and a piece of clay. And we're going to add a little bit of water back to this by just squeezing the water in like this. And then what we're going to do is we are going to roll out a small handle, like a little chunk of clay like this. And this is what we call a wishbone handle. And it's a really fun handle. So what we're going to do is we're going to slap it down on one side. And then we're going to switch sides. We're going to slap it down on the other side. Break the handle, and that slapping is actually pulling and stretching the handle. So we're going to slap it down there and there. We're already starting to get like this middle part that's a little bit thinner. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take our sponge and we're going to begin to stretch. Just pulling it over the surface. This is why I said if you have a canvas cloth, it'll make it a lot easier because it does want to stick to the table. So we're going to go on one side and on the other side. Okay, and I'm just pulling it all the way through, flattening that middle section. Okay, and what then we're going to do is we're going to pull it back up, flip it over, and do that. To the other side. Grab some more water. And you just want to work all the sides until you have a nice even taper where it's thinner in the middle and thicker on the sides. on that one. Yeah. Scoot it over. Okay, so now I have a handle that is thinner on the sides and thicker on the top, but is a little bit wide. Like I don't want it to be this wide. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my knife and I'm just going to cut. We'll see if I can get it stuck enough to cut. I have to dry my table off here. Cut, and again to cut. Okay, so now it's thinner. Put that aside, and again we'll soften it just to thin it out a little bit because it'll flatten as we soften it. Okay, again we're flipping it over. Okay. And now you have what's called the wishbone handle, where it's thicker. It looks like a little wishbone. Okay, and what we'll do is we will just cut this like that, and we will cut on the top the same way. So we'll just chop the end off like that. And then what we're going to do is we'll just mush the top of the handle like this so that it's wider on one side, thicker on one side, and thinner on the other. And then what we want to do is we'll leave it, again, we're always training the shape that we want. I think this side's actually a little bit better. But we'll mush both sides, and then we're going to train it to the shape that we want. Okay, so that later we have this kind of handle. All right, and then we got to let our handles set up. Okay, so we have our 3 handles here. They have mostly set up, like they're not sticky anymore, but they're still pliable, which is good. Like we want that. We want them to be able to move, but we don't want them sticky. We want them to be able to hold their shape, and they do. That's good. So whenever you're adding handles, this is just like a quick demo on how to attach a handle. So some people, when I'm first teaching them, they want to put the handle on the pot like upside down like this. Don't do that, okay? You can if you want, you'll see that sometimes, but most of the time it's most comfortable to have the thick part on the top. That's a matter of preference, I know, for a lot of people, but that was also just the way I was taught. So when you put a handle on a mug, what you want to do is you want to cut it so that you can kind of like see where it's going to be. So what we're going to do here is we're going to cut this right here at the thicker part to kind of match the shape of the pot, right? And then obviously this is too big, so I don't want it to be that big, so we're going to train it into the shape that we want. I want it to have this curved shape, and then we'll go straight down like that. Okay, so it's going to look something like that when we're done. So that's the rolled handle that we have. Okay, so what I'm gonna do to mark the spot on my pot where I want the handle to be, I'm gonna get this wet, that and that, and I'm just gonna put it right there, like that and like that. Okay, and that will mark. It'll leave a little like mud spot on the handle. Okay, now normally you don't really want your hands to be super wet when you're doing this. And the other tip that we're gonna do is when you are gonna put this on, take your finger and just push it back in to the top of your handle so that it flares out a little bit. When you do that, it gives you something to push on, because half of the reason why the clay sticks is how hard you push it, it's the compression. Right, so half of it is the slip, like how well you scored and slipped it, but the other half is actually how firmly you pressed it on. Okay, so we'll put that aside for a little bit because we know where it's going to be. So it's going to be right there and down here. And these pots are they're starting to get pretty leather hard, which I probably should have put these on at like a different, just a slightly softer stage. But I'm going to scratch this and I'm going to make sure that the score marks are fairly deep. And I'm going to make sure also that they're in line with each other, because sometimes they're not, and then your handle's crooked, and I've made plenty of crooked handles. Okay. So just make sure that your handle is in line with what you're doing. So we're going to scratch the surface here pretty good. And remember that any place where you're trying to press clay or smooth it out onto needs to be scored and slipped. If it's not, then the likelihood of it cracking in that spot is pretty high. Or I should say becomes higher. Okay, so we have our spots, right? We're ready to score and slip, and now we have to score and slip our handle. And using a serrated rib, I'm using a serrated rib to do this. I like this best, but you can use whatever you want. I started out using a needle tool when I was taught. And that's honestly kind of hard. Like, it's a lot more work. I love this tool. It works a lot better. Okay, so when you're ready to place it on, find the spot that you're going to press it onto and press onto that spot, supporting from the inside and from the outside. Okay. And you don't want to distort the handle, and you don't want to break the cup. Okay, so what we're going to do is but you want to press it on enough that, okay, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to blend it out. Your handle should be on your pot, nice and easy, nice and simple. Okay, might be a little crooked, hopefully not. If it is, then we'll have to scoot it over. But that's the first handle, right? Now we got to fit the other two on.